What's going on, everybody? All right, we got video number 2 today of the Bluetti conversion, what we're doing at my buddy Chad's place. If you recall in the first video, his lead acid battery system, the deep cycle battery system, which is like your traditional kind of off-grid power setup, that was starting to fail. And so we're replacing everything with the Bluetti system, which is much, much better. It's giving it to where Chad doesn't have to micromanage his power system like he used to in the past, and actually being able to run all of his devices 24 hours a day without unplugging things in the evening time because his solar power went away. So it's making it very convenient. And it's the thing that I really love about these power stations is they're legitimately plug and play. You know, you don't have to have a whole lot of expertise when dealing with electrical systems or off-grid power or figuring out voltage or amps or, you know, watts or all those things. It's just, you get them, you get those power stations, you put them in your place, you plug them in, and you're off to the races. The performance and reliability of these systems have come so far in the last 5 years. I never thought it was possible 5 years ago that these systems could power an entire homestead like it's doing over at Chad's place. But we've got the bathhouse, the main house, and then all the extra stuff that he runs out there running on this system, and it's absolutely no problem at all. And the reliability of it's fantastic. And then also too, using the app, Chad can sit in his house, pull up the app, see where he's at with his battery, you know, percentages as far as how much is left in there, and just it's like hassle-free off-grid power. You know, really it is. And so we'll get into the video here. We'll show you all the stuff that we're talking about. I'll also do a quick little interview with Chad, just to ask him how his experience has been, and then we'll wrap up the video. So let's get into it here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another off-grid power video. If you recall in the last video that we did over at Chad's place, we wired up his bathhouse to run the washing machine, and then he also has a hot water heater in the bathhouse area, and then also the bidet, and all three together, those pull about 1500 watts continuously. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to wire up the main house, and this is just in time as a heat wave arrives. Having the ability to create ice and also to run the air conditioner pretty much 24/7, it's just a complete game changer for off-grid living. Our electrician friend Tim suggested creating a 30 amp plug for the main residence, and so while he was taking care of the wiring for that, I got the power stations ready for this next phase. Now remember, the entire goal of this project has been to switch Chad's homestead from an older lead acid deep cycle battery system to the Bluetti AC500 plus 4 B300S battery expansion packs. I'm really glad that we wired up the system to make it essentially plug and play, because what you see here is a 20 amp plug, and that powers the bathhouse, and this is the 30 amp plug which Tim just got done wiring up, which powers the main residence. Now both of these buildings together, they can pull anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000 watts. So if you look here at the display right next to the AC load, which is that orange light with the light bulb in it, it goes up to 4,000 watts. So we're good to go here, and now all we need to do now is get our solar dialed in. All right, so what we did was, Tim, if you want to clarify this with like the actual jargon, but we basically took the solar that was coming in here, and since this unit here allows 2 DC inputs for solar up to 3,000 watts, but it was only 1,500 watts when we had it just one plugged in. So what did you do here so we could have the total 3,000 coming in?
I just paralleled another set of cables coming off of the input PV electric and plugged that into DC2, positive and negative. Okay, so we have got a DC1 connectors on there and DC2 that both go into the same deal there. And that's how we're able now to, let's pull this up and see how much we're pulling in. Input. Yep, so we're showing there it's split perfectly. So we got 2,600 watts coming in at 92 volts for both the DC1 and DC2. So that's exactly what we wanted. And the nice thing about doing it this way is your input voltages and your power are very, very close. It's pretty much identical.
Yeah.
See, 92.8 on your voltage and 1346 on watts. Yep. So everything is nice and evenly balanced.
Split perfectly.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, the metal piece?
Yeah.
Chad has tacos.
Yeah. Let's go eat.
Yeah. The house.
Hey, man.
That's nice. I'm gonna leave that open for you.
Okay. Let me shut it?
Yeah, if you would, just in case.
Okay.
There we go. So let me get my phone. We're gonna look at the app. You can't look at that.
That's incredible. It's exactly what we wanted.
Right at 12:25. So you're looking at, that's like peak sun. That's as efficient, just about as efficient as you're gonna get.
Jeez, this is gonna be incredible, man. here. We've got the entire homestead online. We've got the bathhouse, your main house. We've got 2 water heaters. We've got an air conditioner. Got the fridge going with the ice maker.
Right.
What else have we got? You got the bidet and the...
The bidet is running.
Okay.
I mean, there's a fan. There's a ceiling fan that's almost always on. It's either depends on if it's winter or summer direction, but it's almost always on. You know, and then there's all the ghost power. You know what I mean? The stuff that just it never doesn't pull power. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if there's nothing on. They're still pulling 100 watts between all the stuff. But usually, like Lisa has the she'll listen to music and stuff like that, podcasts or whatever. So the sound bar thing is still that's about 125 watts. So the first thing was to test the bathhouse, right? I just wanted to see what it was capable of. Same thing with the solar system. Until you're using it, you don't really know what it's going to do or how are you going to deal with it. We're about to get invaded by goats. So I wanted to test it, and I was really impressed. The water heater, I left the water heater on in the bathhouse, just on purpose, just to test the half system. Remember when we just did the bathhouse? And it worked awesome. So since we plugged everything in, I've left both water heaters on every night.
So yeah, no ramp up time or nothing.
You wouldn't go. I wouldn't tell you after 6 years of off-grid living to not turn your water heater off at night if you're on 100% solar.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Either one. They haven't been turned off in a week.
And now that we have the solar fixed to where you're getting the full for 3,000 watts of solar coming in, you're going to be going into your evening time at 100%. As long as you've got a sunny day, you're going into nighttime at 100%. You don't have to turn any systems off.
No. That was kind of the peace of mind thing I was telling you about earlier, was if I wanted to, let's just say the sun was setting and I wanted to shower, right? I know how much hot water that's going to take, you know, how much power I'm going to use to I can boot him out of here if you want. Hey.
I got goats attacking the tripod at the moment.
Come on, get out of here, guys. No. Go.
They're licking the tripod.
Go. No coffee. They stole Tim's coffee. Anyway, hopefully they won't come back. So let's just say like it's 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I know that's your peak sun. After 4 o'clock, you're still going to make some power on the panels, but you have to kind of start to watch it. You want to make sure you end the day at 100%. You know, you want to fill these batteries up all the way. Like those are the things you think about. You don't just go turn the shower on like you do in the city. Right. So you do the math on it, you figure it out, and that's kind of how we've planned everything. So the thought of taking a shower at night, actually, I would not have considered it until I watched, really, like I said, these things drain. So since then, I've had a morning shower, which I haven't done in 6 years. I've had a nighttime shower, which I haven't done in 6 years. Usually it's got to be midday.
That's awesome.
And that's the hot water heater's the big draw for me.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're not like turning on the hot plate or turning on the air fryer or whatever. When the sun's out, doesn't matter.
Not having to micromanage the power, that's such a huge thing out here.
Yeah. My difference would be, so if I really wanted to take a nighttime shower, I would have to come out here, look at the system and see how it was doing, and then decide if I wanted to turn the hot water heater on, because I would know by morning that would be at, you know, let's just say 85%, and I want to keep it, you know, ideally I don't want to get my system down to 50%, the lead acid battery system down to 50% or even below 60%. It starts flashing and panicking me, like you know,
all those alarms start going
off. Like your debit card got declined. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
So the impressive things have been how efficient it is at pulling the 1500 watts. Even at half, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It didn't ever set me into I need to worry about it. I checked my when I took my nighttime shower, I checked my phone. I was like, you know what? I know this can operate way lower than 82%, which is what it was at, because I watched it in the bathhouse work at 22, as low as 8%. You know, before
that's what I love about lithium. You can drain them to zero.
Yeah,
and you don't have to worry about damaging them like you do with the lead acid.
They just shut themselves down. Actually seeing 80% on these batteries is completely different than seeing 80% on the lead acid batteries. At 80%, I'm like, it's nighttime, shut everything off. We're going to be at 7, maybe 67 in the morning. right? That's a bad night.
Yeah.
80% on these, I'd go jump in the shower.
Yeah.
It's a totally different. It's a lot different than I thought it would be.
Well,
managing.
And now that you've got summer around the corner with the air conditioner, I mean you're going to be able to run the air conditioner 24 hours a day, and you won't have to have any sort of concerns as long as you've had solar power a little bit within the past couple of days, a little bit of sun putting energy into your system. You should always stay in front of it. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and also thank you to Bluetti for hooking us up with this system. It's doing a phenomenal job powering Chad's homestead, and he has pretty much hassle-free power, which is that's like a dream when you're off-grid. So if you're interested, I've got a link in the video description below, and then also a code for you to get $200 off. It's off-grid AC 500. And I cannot say enough great things about these power stations. The leaps and bounds they've come with the technology and the performance over the last 5 years is astounding. So pick yourself up one of these. You don't have to worry about power when you're off grid, and it'll be good to go. So thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video.